Stop what you are doing right now, because the NFL just handed us a nightmare scenario, and I am honestly losing my mind over how dirty they are doing our Carolina Panthers this year. Look, we knew the schedule was going to be a grind, but what just dropped is a total slap in the face to every single person in this room. We are talking about a move that could literally break our season before it even gets started, and you won't believe the massive disadvantage the league just forced onto us, while the rest of the NFC South. Before we dive into the heart of this mess, I need you to do me a huge favor, because we are building something special here, and our goal is to reach 3,000 subscribers to show the world that Panthers fans are the loudest and most loyal tribe in the entire league. So hit that button and join the family, because we are in this together through the thick and thin. Now let's talk about the absolute bombshell that just dropped regarding our schedule, because the NFL just gave us the earliest possible bye week in Week 5. And this is not just a minor inconvenience, it is a brutal blow to the momentum of this team. While our rivals in the NFC South got much better dates to rest, we are being forced to take a break before the engine even gets hot, and then we have to face a grueling stretch of 13 straight games without a single moment to breathe or recalibrate. This is where it gets incredibly dangerous for one specific player, who is the key to our entire offensive explosion, and I am talking about Jonathon Brooks. We all know the talent this kid has, and we saw those flashes of pure electricity in college, where he looked like a human highlight reel, but his journey to the NFL has been a nightmare of physical recovery and grit. He is finally cleared for action, and the reports say he will be ready for training camp, which is the news we have all been praying for, because we need that second option alongside Chuba Hubbard to keep defenses guessing. But the league just put a massive target on his surgically repaired knee by forcing him into a schedule that offers zero mercy during the most critical part of the year. Can you imagine the pressure on a rookie who has never played a full professional season being told he has to survive 13 straight weeks of NFL contact without a break? It feels like the schedule makers are setting him up for a disaster, and it makes me wonder if they even care about the health of these players, or if they just want to see us fail, while everyone else gets a fair shot at the playoffs this year for our squad. But wait, because it actually gets even crazier when you look at the raw truth of his history. Because Brooks is coming off a non-contact knee injury that literally changed his life, and his knee has been surgically repaired twice now, which is a terrifying reality for a running back who relies on sudden cuts and explosive speed. In college, the most games he ever played in a single season was 11. And that was before the injury happened, so now he is expected to jump into the most physical league on the planet and play 13 weeks in a row without a week off to let those joints heal. And that is just asking for a catastrophe. They don't want you to know how much this affects the locker room chemistry, because when you have a weapon like Brooks, you want him at 100% for the December push, but instead we might be looking at a guy who is completely gassed, or worse, by the time we actually need him to win games. I am losing my mind thinking about how the rest of the NFC South has these mid-season breaks to get healthy while we are stuck in this exhausting marathon that starts way too early, and it feels like we are fighting with one hand tied behind our back. This isn't just about football, it is about the legacy of a young man who has fought through hell to get here, and now the system is throwing him into a meat grinder without a safety net. Are the Panthers management really going to push him to the limit, or are they going to have to limit his touches just to keep him alive, which basically means our offense won't be nearly as explosive as it should be? It is a catch-22 situation where we either risk his health or we sacrifice our scoring potential, and honestly, both options feel like a punch to the gut for a fan base that has already suffered enough. We need to be honest with ourselves here, because this is the kind of detail that separates the championship contenders from the teams that crumble under the weight of the season, and the NFL just made our path to glory 10 times harder than it needed to be for us. Now let's look at the redemption arc, because if Brooks can somehow defy the odds and survive this brutal stretch, he becomes a legendary figure in Carolina history, but the mountain he has to climb is absolutely massive. We are talking about a guy who is supposed to be the lightning to Chuba Hubbard's thunder. And when they are both on the field, this offense looks like something out of a dream, because they offer such different skill sets that defensive coordinators will be having nightmares trying to game plan for both of them. Unlike other backups in the league, Brooks isn't just a replacement, he is a tactical weapon who can break a game open with one touch, but that only works if he is fresh and explosive, and this Week 5 bye week is the ultimate enemy of freshness. If this news goes right and he stays healthy, we are talking about a playoff run that could shock the world, but if his knee starts to flare up in Week 12 or 13 because he hasn't had a break, then we are looking at a total disaster that could set this franchise back even further. I want to be your voice of reason here, but it is hard to stay calm when you see the deck being stacked against us like this, and I am telling you right now that the pressure on the coaching staff to manage his reps is going to be historic. They have to play a dangerous game of chess with his health every single Sunday, and if they make one wrong move, it could cost us everything we have been building for. I am watching the other teams in our division getting their breaks in week 10, and I am week 10, and I am just sitting here wondering why the Panthers always seem to get the short end of the stick when it comes to these scheduling decisions. It feels like a test of our grit and our soul as a team, and as a community, because we are going to have to be tougher than anyone else just to survive the regular season. And that is a lot to ask of a young roster that is still trying to find its identity in a league that shows no mercy. Seriously, I am looking at this, and I am just losing my mind because the logic behind a week 5 bye week for a rebuilding team with a star rookie coming off an injury is non-existent, and it makes me feel like there is a deeper level of disrespect happening here. Unbelievable is the only word I can find to describe the feeling in my gut right now, because we finally have the pieces to be competitive, and then the universe drops this boulder in our path. Let me share a theory that I have been thinking about, because only a true fan would understand the psychological toll this takes on a player who is already worried about his durability. Brooks knows the narrative, and he knows people are questioning if his knee can hold up, and now he has the added stress of knowing there is no relief coming for 3 months straight once that week 5 break is over. That kind of mental pressure can lead to playing tight, and playing tight is exactly how injuries happen in the first place, so it is a vicious cycle that we need to pray he breaks through. The rhythm of the season is going to be so fast, and then suddenly we hit a wall where we have to keep going while everyone else gets to recharge their batteries. And it is just unfair on every level. I want to see that explosiveness we saw on tape where he was weaving through defenders like they were statues, but I also want to see him walking off the field healthy every single week, and right now those two things feel like they are in direct conflict with each other. It is a high-stakes gamble that the front office is forced to take, and I am just hoping they have a secret plan to keep him 100%. Because otherwise we are heading into a storm without an umbrella, and that is a terrifying thought for every single one of us watching this unfold today, right? So here we are standing at the edge of a season that could either be our greatest redemption story or another chapter in the book of what could have been. And it all comes down to how we handle this brutal hand we have been dealt. I believe in this team, and I believe in the fire that Jonathon Brooks has in his soul, but I am also a realist who sees the trap that has been set for us by the league. We have to be louder than ever, and we have to support these guys through every single one of those 13 straight weeks, because they are going to need every ounce of energy we can give them from the stands and from our homes. This is our year to prove that the Carolina Panthers cannot be broken by a schedule or by a bad break, because we are a tribe that thrives on the struggle, and we find our strength in the moments when everyone else expects us to fail. I want to see your fire in the comments right now, and I want you to be raw and honest with me, because I need to know if you think this is a death sentence for our playoff hopes, or if you believe Brooks is going to become a superstar despite the obstacles. Is this the year we finally shock the world, or are we being let down by the system once again? Because I want to hear your voice, and I want to see the passion that makes this community the best in football. We are building this together, and your support means the world to me as we push toward that 3,000 subscriber goal, so make sure you are locked in for every update. This is Lucas, and I am standing right here with you through every hit and every touchdown as we chase the glory that this franchise deserves. Keep pounding and never let them see you blink, because we are the true Panthers Nation.